Hello everybody, welcome to Hillbilly Select Reviews. Today we are doing Martinez Fine Ruby Porto. Port. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. 19% ABV, product of Portugal. Founded 1797 by a Spaniard in England. Has since moved their operations to, he sold port and cigars and stuff in England. Now they make their wines, in, of course in Portugal they make their own wines now. So 1797. Ruby Port is a fortified wine, okay, that they add a grape-based product to, such as brandy, during the fermentation process to raise the alcohol level and to cut off fermentation, keep it sweet. It's a sweet red wine, serving size generally 3 ounces. Ruby Port is aged, let me see, for less than 3 years in big barrels. Okay, 20 Port is, and if it's aged 5+ years in those big barrels, the Ruby Port, it becomes Reserve Ruby Port. Now, 20 Port, and I am reading off my notes here, is aged for more than 6 years in small casks, because that gives it greater surface contact with the wood and the air, and it turns a 20 brown color. If it has an age statement, a 20 Port, it could be 10, 20, 30, and 40 years. And I have some of those. I have a 10, a 20, and a 30, and a 40. I'll be doing reviews. I'll be under my port playlist, and this is a good time to tell you to please subscribe to my channel. That's all I ask at you. I do all kinds of reviews, every kind of wine. This will be under my wine, my port playlist. Beers, liquors, liqueurs, foods that have these items in them as ingredients. Everything under a beautiful, easy to find playlist. So give me a quick sub on that. Now, late bottle vintage ports are made from grapes grown in a particular year. I think a lot of times they are actually fermented in the bottle, and they are alive and they can last a long time as they're developing the bottle. Once these other ones, these Ruby Ports and all, are put in the bottle, they're done and they're basically made to drink, not necessarily age anymore at that point. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how I like to drink port. Port is so good. It's blue cheese, those hard, tough cheeses like that, smoky foods, smoky nuts, salty nuts, and of course cheesecake, chocolate cakes and desserts. Perfect for this. Good before dinner, after dinner with dessert. I just like sipping it. Turn on TV, I pour myself a glass of port. I drink it for a long time. I'll show you how I do it. So I got this little glass here, put that a little bit in. Gives me a nice nose in this little miniature glass here. And first I'm going to tell you what I smell. I've been drinking on this, and this much down, I've been drinking on it a while, because that's about how much I drink a night. I do not drink a lot of this. You can, but this has about 100 grams of sugar per serving. Okay, port's sweet. Distinctive port. You never had it, you don't know what I'm talking about, but you will, right? Always get the dried, the fruits, even on this one, the Ruby, which is fresher than the 20. Tend to be, although they're a little more fruity here than on the 20, which is really got some other things going on, tobacco, wood, really dry fruit. But this is the slightest tint when you do like cherries or blackberries or plums, and a little bit fermented. Okay, to dried. The dried fruit smell to like a slightly fermented fruit, kind of going bad, but not smelling bad. Just starting to like turn into an alcohol fruit that's been that kind of smell. A little boozy smell to it, a little bit alcohol smell to it, but that fruit, that fermented fruit type smell, going into a dried fruit type smell, is what I always seem to get off these rubies. Now, on this one, the smell isn't that intense. It's a medium to medium minus intensity on the nose. Get the sweetness, slightest bit of acidity, slightest bit of tannin, dominated by the sweetness and the taste of that cherry, that plum, that raspberry, that blackberry type fruits, slightly fermented, slightly dried with that sweetness. It's beautiful. And the way I like to drink it actually is I just take the smallest amount, and this one I do this for a long time. I don't gulp this right away. And I just kind of let it, as odd as this, just kind of find its way down. And I enjoy it and savor it, and I get all the taste all along the way, and the aftertaste and the warm feeling. And I just take a long time to drink something like this here. Yeah. And that's how I do it, and I savor it, and I taste it for a while after I swallow it. And then I wait a little bit, I take the smallest little sip, let it go down, coat my tongue, go down, enjoy all those flavors. It's a real art to making this. You know, a lot of these ports can have up to 52 types of grapes in them. So, interesting. Now, there's over, I think it's over 10,000 grapes in the world. I think over 4,000 they actually make wine from. So here's 52 right here. So, from Hillbilly Select Review, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you buy yourself some port. If you can find a little sampler kit or some miniature bottles, because this goes a long way. It's got a high alcohol content, and it's just the way you drink it goes a long way. Maybe you can get some ruby, some late vintage, and some different years on the tawny, and just develop your own profile if you like it, of what you like, and little nuances between the styles. It's a fun thing to get into. It's a fun thing to do. And you can also go to my port playlist, and I'll have that broken down for you. All right. Don't know where this is, how many I have on it, but I have some fine ports that I'm going to be doing. I got to get to them. It just takes me a long time to drink it, so it'll be a while before I finish this, before I can open and start another port. That's the thing with this. It's not like drinking a beer. You can drink a beer a day or whatever. So, once again, subscribe. Keep an eye on that playlist. Hit the bell. If you hit the bell, you're going to get notified when those port ones come up. That's what you're interested in. Get notified when everything comes up. Sometimes I do blow up my thing, man. I do a lot of reviews. But you know, you don't have to click on it. Read it. If it sounds interesting, click on it. If it doesn't, let that one go by. It's that simple. From Hillbilly Select Reviews, everybody, I really hope you enjoyed this. And of course, as always, I will see you when? On the next one.